Hello, I am Dr. Amjad Mahmood from AIOU-COL Open University, Pakistan. Today, I'll be discussing website development process. That is the activities a web developer has to carry out while he is developing a website. Remember, developing a large website is a complex and demanding activity which may have far-reaching consequences for an organization. The result of a poorly planned, hasty development efforts often is a website that will fail to achieve its objectives. Therefore, it is very important for a web developer to follow a tried and tested web development process. A process outlines the steps or stages a web developer should follow when he undertakes a web development project. The process activities helps us to achieve our goals of developing a fully functional website progressively. There are numerous steps in the web design process. Knowing more about these steps will help you to become a better web developer. Of course, there is no golden recipe for developing a website. Different people may follow different processes and still be able to deliver a well-developed website. But whenever process we follow, it has some basic activities or steps. A typical web development process has the following steps or phases. The first step is information gathering, then planning of a website, designing a website, then developing a website, testing and delivery, and finally the maintenance. Let's start with each step and discuss very briefly what we actually do during these steps. In the first step, information gathering. In this step, we want to understand the purpose of the website. Every organization that goes for a website must be having some precise purpose why they want their website available to the users. So it's very important that you should get that information from the organization that why they need this website. Here are some examples of the purposes for developing a website. Now during this step, you also need to understand the goals of a website. That is, what the companies want to achieve through the website. One good example of this can be that the company wants to increase its profit through online marketing. Knowing the audience of the website is equally important. You need to consider their preferences and requirements when designing and developing your website. And last but not the least, you must know what content or the information and services you want to provide on the website. The second phase of web development is planning. During the planning phase, you plan for your website. One important activity that you do is to prepare what is generally known as a sitemap. I would suggest to you to look at the sitemaps of some of the websites. Once you have a sitemap and other information that you have collected before, it's time to design your website. That is, decide about the layout, colors, graphics, etc. Development is the next step where you put all your components together and start doing necessary coding and development of graphics and etc. You will be using a number of development tools during this phase to develop a complete website. Testing is the next activity in which you ensure that there is no problems with your website. That is, all the links are working properly, the code and graphics work the way you want it to do, the site works fine in the selected browsers, etc. Once you have tested your website, you can upload your website on the server and make it online. Once the site goes online, it might need continuous improvement and maintenance. You would like to improve it, add new information and services, and remove the errors and mistakes. This is what we call a maintenance phase. I hope you understood the development process well. Do a small exercise and carry out these activities for a simple website that you intend to develop yourself. Thank you.